Democracy looks like. Now what's disgusting? What's disgusting? What's disgusting? Recall. Recall. Recall everybody. All those guys that voted Walker. Let's go. I'd like to bring up a leader, somebody that's still with us from the beginning, your leader. Joe Conway calls him our Muhammad Ali, because he's ready to fight. Phil Nuenfeldt, State President of AFL-CIO. Solidarity! Are you down? No! Are you defeated? No! Are you ready to fight? Yes! Are you ready to fight? Yes! Are we moving forward? Yes! Are we moving forward? Yes! Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Woo-hoo! All right. And as I like to say, we're back. And we ain't going nowhere. I know they like to think that based on that ruling they got today, that we're all going to go home. We're all going to say, oh well, oh well. But that ain't happening, right, brothers and sisters? That ain't happening. That is not happening. We're going to take the fight. We're going to take the fight. Where are we going to take the fight? Out to the districts. We're going to take the fight to them by recalling them, right? The best defense is a good offense, and that's where the battle goes now. The battle goes in trying to make sure that America understands what's happening in this budget. It's an extraordinary budget, they say. They're changing the rules so they can move things quicker with less debate. And I say it is indeed an extraordinary budget. It's an extraordinary budget. But what's more extraordinary is the fact that we've been out here fighting for 122 days. And tomorrow will be 123, and then 124, and just keep counting, because we're going to keep fighting. For 122 days, the people of Wisconsin have stood together. They've stood strong against Scott Walker's corporate agenda and his extreme attacks on working families. In his budget, Scott Walker is attacking workers, students, seniors, the poor, the environment, and our state in general. And this is not the Wisconsin that we know, right? Right! This is not the Wisconsin we know. So it's not, out of the ordinary that they would call this an extraordinary budget, because it's extraordinary to us that they are slashing education for our children and higher education for our young adults like never before. It's extraordinary that they are raising taxes on the working poor while cutting taxes for wealthy corporations. And before they got their decision, it was extraordinary that they were looking to jam in the union busting rights, stripping collective bargaining measures into the budget. That's what's extraordinary to me. And we've not been just fighting this thing here in Madison. We've been fighting it all throughout the state. We've been tapping out, hail to Walkerville! See, if you'd have stayed in Walkerville, you'd have had nice chairs over there like they got. All right, so we know what's next. We'll continue to cry out and make sure that people know what's in this budget, what choices are being made, and then we're going to take our fight to the districts. We're going to defend the Democrats. We're going to go after the Republicans. We're going to elect people that believe that government should be protecting the rights of people and not stripping them away. So thank you, brothers and sisters. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for coming together here today. And let's look at this as the birth of our next step, the next fight that we're going to take it to them in the districts. So with that, I want to introduce the next speaker. It's a labor leader that's been fighting for education, been leading the way, Mary Bell.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Mary Bell. I'm a teacher from Wisconsin Rapids, serving as president of the Wisconsin Education Association Council. You look a little warmer than you did in March, but unfortunately what's going on in the Capitol hasn't changed very much. We've been here, as Phil said, for 122 days, but last week, for a little over a week, a number of us have been out here in Walkerville. And we didn't camp because we enjoyed the aggregate under our pillows at night. We did it because we wanted to be sure it was clear. We're watching what goes on here. We understand what this budget means. Camped out on the square last weekend, I met a family. The family was here with their children because they're struggling. They're struggling. The mother was waiting in line to get into nursing school so that she could upgrade her skills and find a job. The husband, a teacher who'd just been laid off. That family was not here because they're on a public dole. They were here because they're a working family trying to survive. They brought their children because they wanted their children to understand that although you may be taken down, you are not taken out until you fail to stand up. We are down, but we are not out. We are going to make sure that although this legislature can do what they did and the Supreme Court has told them they don't have to follow their own rules, we are going to make sure that we go all across the state and hold them accountable for the actions that they have just taken. You are here. You're here with your neighbors and your friends because you care about worker rights, you care about the jobs and the professions in which you work, and you love the state of Wisconsin. This extreme agenda has to be seen for what it is and what it does to our Wisconsin values. Change begins when we stand up and speak out for what we believe in. It began in February for us when we stood here in the snow and raised our collective voice against the attack on working families. We're here again because what's going on in that Capitol is not right for Wisconsin. We're here to shed light on the baggage that this budget carries and the harm it will cause, because it's not right. Say it with me. It's not right. We're here today because we value democracy. Even if they don't believe in following the rules, we think it should be. The GOP leadership on display here cannot be allowed to continue the power grab that they have been running in this state. It's not right. It's not right. We're here today because we're outraged with Scott Walker's attempts to destroy our unions and harm working families in the state, because that's not right. It's not right. We're here because Governor Walker and his allies have demonstrated they are unwilling to sit down and listen and discuss and come to solutions with the working families and people of Wisconsin. That's not right. It's not right. And we're here because calling an extraordinary session so that they can push through a budget without listening to the democratic process established in our state will not go unnoticed by the citizens, and it's not right. It's not right. So much of what we're witnessing with our government these days isn't right. We know it. You're all here because you want to speak up about it. And that's what we're taking back to our communities. You heard it from Mahlon, you heard it from Phil, and you're hearing it again from me. Out to those recall districts. Make sure that the people who have stood up for working families have working families standing with them. And that the people who have sided with the multinational corporations and the national agenda rather than standing with our Wisconsin citizens need to be held accountable for that as well. Recall! 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 Thank you. It is a lot of work that's ahead of us. But as determined as we are to speak out today, I know we are just as determined to get that work done, and nobody works harder than labor and working families here in Wisconsin. Thank you very much. It is my pleasure to introduce Ellen Carlson. One of the great things about what has happened, it's not what's gone on inside the Capitol, but it's what's gone on as labor stands together and as our communities have rallied around us. Ellen Carlson is a parent here from Madison, and parents and neighbors and families and union leaders, union members, brothers and sisters, are all speaking up. Ellen Carlson!